So
And they're just jumping straight into it, by the way.
contrast between
Like we're already in turn 1. The bottom left, we have Shu picking Ryota, and top right, as player 2, we have Alsame picking Wulfar up in the red. Wulfar is a very interesting commander. He got added to the game with this update. The Golf Commander, as a lot of people call him, he does his hammer swing and they send units flying. Very strong pick on this map because there's a lot of flagstone around. So if you start seeing air units, you just punt them onto that flagstone, bam, they're gone.
there's a lot of strong on this map. One is that this map very much favors, as we like to say, big boys. It favors big, expensive units. You see a lot of golems are really strong, knights are really strong, and then you've got these sea tiles in the corner too. So, and Wulfar's range is enormous. Wulfar's range is strong enough that if the golem's in the center but kind of slightly towards the sea tiles, you can actually hit into the sea tile. I believe you can hit it onto these walls, which I think will do the same thing. So we're really this map. In general, he's proven to be a pretty strong commander. His Groove is very versatile and it's fast charge, so you can pretty much always generate some value.
Right, I'm just letting people know what's going on and some things. Doing a little bit of admin work at the same time.
So we're seeing the same opening. Yeah, we're seeing the early port opening. This map, Auranian Labyrinth, is 2 maps for 2.0. I believe Exmo is the author of this map, and sort of taken on the trend of wave of maps of having several different really viable options for openers. A lot of early maps in Groove of War tended to have a small number of openers that were highly optimal to other ones. This map, along with some of the other new, you see multiple options just sort of produce different strategies and aren't necessarily better. So both players are going for a very econ heavy open, the early port. Folk can only really capture that village back there. It doesn't really do that much. So sending your commander way far back to get this port, not really putting much pressure on the center early on. So really just a very econ. Expecting either player to make moves.
Yeah, and like they're both opting to go for the same opening as well. They're both going low start, as people call it, where you take the port with your commander and then move it to the center later on in the game. Going for that merfolk to knock down this wall, take this water village, as opposed to just pushing the commander through to the center and just like doing lots of extra damage. And I personally prefer to play the aggressive route, so this is very interesting for me to watch.
So Shu did make a little bit of optimization over Alsame in this opening, which is that he built the turn 2 mage from the forest racks, which allows you to cap on the... So it gives you the same turn cap on your village, but for P1 is directly to the right of the forest racks, but then it lets you get 1 turn faster cap on the village all the way in the corner. And then Shu also went for a turn 3 mage from the same racks, which will give him a little bit of presence in the center that sword would, because it can the other side of the village before capping. So with a little optimizations there, having a little bit more presence while still going for safer opening.
And like they're both definitely, you're talking about optimization, they're both definitely the kinds of people that will have played this match a lot. And I mean, this is one of the Test Your Metal maps that's going on right now. They're both playing in that. They're both getting a lot of games on this. So you are going to see that kind of level of optimization of the early game from both of them.
Yeah. Alsame coming out with an early Balloon. I think this is also a smart play. I like to do a variation on this opening where I cap the port as early and get an earlier Balloon pikes. Lets you a safe, do a safe route with your commander. Still move to the center early on. Ooh, heals off the tower. That's interesting. Healing off the tower is a smart move because your opponent is not likely to ever challenge the tower.
Definitely in a very fortified position. Flagstone on both sides means the area units can't pressure it easily. Like, you're not going to see a dragon just sneak around and hit it. So yeah, like, why not use it to heal? Because like, it's not like anything's really going to challenge it. Do you think we're going to see Alsame use this balloon up in the north to ferry a merfolk down for combat?
Probably. Just for the pure efficiency of using the balloon optimally to its full capacity. It's the only unit got. I mean, I guess he's got this sword, but the sword will reach the center more easily. Blocks there because it's already so close. So the merfolk down makes sense. Honestly, pulling the gate is like kind of not worth it. A lot of players put the merfolk there to kill the gate just because they like don't know what else to do with the merfolk. If you're not going to build a rifle, there's no point. The thieves can bypass the gate anyway. From the games that I've played on this map, I've never seen the rifleman be. Oh, no. Everything I just said was all.
I saw one game where we ended up with 2 rifles and they were threatening headquarters. So they could see them be built. I mean, one thing that you're likely to see here is like thieves being built because they can get through gates with an ability they have. So they don't suffer the same kind of... Like, this gate positioning is done on purpose. It's to slow down rifles because there is that fear that they dominate the map a bit too much in the early game. So there's this kind of like delayed... The game starts to get a little stale potentially in the like later mid to end game, and then you get the rifles unlocked by knocking down the gate. But then you see the thieves used early as an option because the gate exists. And yeah,
We've been talking a lot about. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Alsame choosing to knock down the gate as well is quite a big tell. Where he's like, I really want to get. It does speed up thieves returning. So it is good for the thief play as well, but it does open up rifles. So I guess he just wants that option to stay open for the moment.
Okay, so Shu's got a slight income lead because of sword that he sent up to the top, which is now dead. Allowed him to take that top corner village, although I don't think his income lead for too long. Shu is going for pike spam. Balloon. I know some players have been saying, oh, pike spam's not good on this map. Just build an archer or whatever, and then it's bad. But there's some pretty constrained fronts on this map. You know, the areas directly above and that center mountain are really important areas to control because a lot of village pressure, and depending on which player you are, one of them also gives you a ton of HQ pressure. And pikes just dominate those close quarters. Like, it's really hard to contest pikes in there. We do see Alsame going for archer build. It is smart because she's already got 4 pikemen. Gonna be able to get the archer to the center nice and quickly with that balloon. But I don't really know how much the archer will be able to get in the pikes, especially with Ryota, because dash does so much damage to archers that he doesn't even have to really do a big dash. He can just do a medium dash, hit the archer, and then the archer's at 3 health, and it can't do anything to the pikes anymore.
And we're seeing the very traditional Shu. I'm just gonna put merfolk and balloons. So he's saying I don't want rifles at all. Going for it, and maybe not even thieves. Like, might just go for a pure ground air force, like military units. Like, leave the DLC alone for the moment. I mean, I could be wrong. We could see a thief come out like right now.
I mean, he's not got a good reason to go for thieves in this situation, right? He's got the best thing to do with thieves is to just move them directly horizontal from their spawn position and go grab the corner village. He's already got the corner village locked down. Somebody, I mean, he can threaten it with that knight, but if he sends the knight down there, A, that's moving a lot of his gold away from the center. B, a thief won't want to mess around with the knight anyway. We'll just kill it, or the knight will just kill it. So Alsame makes a good move, threatens 5 barracks. This is a good place to line up your knight. It gives some pretty useful crit positions.
Yeah, Asami just taking out the village in the north says like it's worth sacking a bit of foot soldier health just to do that.
Absolutely. I think Shu captured that with the knowledge that he was have that village for a couple turns. He really was just doing that to try to waste some of Alsame's time, 100 gold worth of income. Shu's probably not going to go back and contest that village because really just like not worth. You know, you have to move all of your so far out of the way that it's just not worth it.
So one thing that's very much the case here is that because of these balloons and the positioning of the units right now, Alsame could just go and threaten headquarters, like not this turn and not next turn, but the turn after. He can really start setting up for that. And these pikes aren't really that mobile. Definitely not to defend it. And then on the other side, you've got Shu kind of doing the same, but there's a lot more units in the way. Oh, actually no. Alsame says, I'm just going to defend the center. And decides not to push forward aggressively into the enemy headquarters.
I think even though he's got a couple of units who are up in the top left corner, it's 2 swords and a dog who can't do any building damage. So I don't think pushing to the HQ was super necessary. This is the archer positioning that people talk about when they say archers just counter pikes on this map. If you put the archer exactly in this spot, it's very hard for the pikes to reach.
Oh yeah, it's just going to crit a mage because the mage can't run around and hit it either, so...
The mage can't reach because the mountain terrain is just too heavy. So this archer positioning was very deliberate, and I think Alsame had probably been setting this up for 2 turns, really.
Yeah, I mean...
That's gonna allow him to hold despite a huge disadvantage in presence in the center, because like nothing can actually really hit her, and nothing can reach the archer, so...
I actually love this archer positioning, by the way. I'm just gonna take a moment to admire it. Because, like you just can't break that. But, I mean, she has 2 balloons, so you can just go around. Like, that is an option. And
that's a very Shu thing. She always says just don't fight where your opponent's army is. Just, if their army is in one region, just go somewhere else. Don't fight them.
it's very Sun Tzu, if I say so myself. Very,
It is. Quite effective. A lot of games doing that. You know, if you just keep that in mind, that there's always an option to just not engage them. And that's probably pretty smart. In case, you know, archer positioning is too good. I think that people have been labbing this archer positioning. I know Mathlord was talking about it specifically, saying you can put an archer in this certain spot and it really shuts pikes down. The alternative, though, so Shu has a ton of guys in the center. Despite the fact that the archer positioning is top-notch, there is only 1 archer. So it can only kill 1 thing.
there's also
So
no
if Shu
anti-air.
just-
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say there's no anti-air, so this balloon can just sit here, and, like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, shoot it with your archer? Like, that's not very effective.
And the golem coming out. Golems are so good on this map. I love how effective golems have become, sort of in general, but on this map they feel particularly able to really cut through the heavy terrain better than, thanks to the 5 move. And they just, knights are so powerful on this map because they hit multiple once, and the golem just like totally shuts the knight down. Now this knight has to run away, can't do anything.
Yeah, it can't even crit the spear, and it wouldn't even want to if it could, because that spear is in a forest, heavily fortified. Look at how powerful that front is. Wow. Like, you would have to push. You'd have to have a lot more units on this like front here to do anything. And if you look, he's got these 3 units up in the north that are just not doing anything. Like, 1 spear is going to shut those 3 down if they try and threaten headquarters or like any of these villages.
That's something that I've seen a lot of games develop in this way, where Usually player 2 ends up with a couple of guys up in that upper left corner and think, this is awesome, I've got this whole area under control, threatening stuff, but you end up with here are always swords and dogs. They're not threatening anything. You can't kill any of these full health villages without flushing themselves. And the other player can just easily shut it down with one spear, one mage, just anything. This is actually Alsame's got the unit right now. The positioning is really in Shu's favor, and Alsame is trying to figure out what he's going to do about it.
I like that move.
Going back.
Yeah, taking that.
Going back.
Yo, you first. Sorry.
I was just saying, not to take it. It's good.
Yeah, and minimal damage to one sword. That's fine. You'll take that. Like, there's the potential of a knight high rolling and getting it, but safer option is let the sword take a little bit of damage. And now he can capture that next turn, and it brings the income a little bit more. Oh, actually, because he's got that top left one, he's actually ahead on income. Because Shu hasn't threatened this village down here. Like, the villages in the bottom of the map, Shu kind of just left. So Alsame has the income lead, which is, maybe not the most important factor, but it does play into how this game's going to play out. Like, Shu has less resources available to him, but on the other hand, he just has all these pikes and balloons, and he can just shove.
That's the thing, is that all of Shu's money went towards putting guys in the center and being scary. And Ame's money is scattered all over the map. He's got the thief going on, he's got the sword, the two swords and the dog in the upper left. He's got this merfolk that's just whacking this gate mindlessly. He's got this witch, which I guess is to kill the balloon. Then he's got the knight, the sword in the lower right. So got tons of money that's in unhelpful places. Whereas Shu just put all of his back center of the map and said, kill this.
And one thing is the advantage of a chess timer over a turn timer is now Shu has a big bank of time to figure out, do I have some, not lethal, but a lot of damage that he could do off of this one Ryota groove. Because all those units kind of clump together, he can spread them out a bit and use the balloons for extra mobility. You could see what, a 10 jump Ryota jump?
If he can charge up a decent amount, I mean, the knight and the archer are both. So if he can charge up a decent amount, he could definitely kill. Even if he doesn't finish the knight, he's potentially got a sword to finish the job. So Alsame's in a potentially tough position, depending on how he sets this up. Set it up in a way that you can't actually do anything.
I like the move back on Wulfar there as well, just setting it up so the only thing that really could kill right now is the craziest Ryota dash you've ever seen in your life.
I don't think there's that much danger of Shu getting now. That's not really the thing to think about. It's Shu finishes off all the army. We'll just be stranded. Okay, I don't think there's any surround potential. Oh! Whoa! Okay. Shu doesn't give about...
This is
He doesn't...
He's just gonna shove. I think he might go for it.
He's just gonna say your army is too weak, not worth my time. I'm just gonna kill your HQ. You can dash on the HQ right now if you.
Oh, he wants the biggest Ryota groove you've ever seen. I think.
That's true. I can't imagine Shu going for anything less than style points. Because that's not how he rolls.
Oh, I can't even predict how this is gonna go.
Oh, comes.
Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, only 5. And didn't hit the
Only
HQ.
5.
But
But see, this is what I was talking about. He didn't have to do a very good dash. He hit this archer. Now the archer's at 1 HP. It can't do it. Now the archer's just done. Can't do anything.
that sword's super weak as well. So, wow, that was like significant. I think would be an understatement. Because now he has like a bunch of stuff near this HQ. He's injured a bunch of these. There's very few units here, like you were saying earlier. So damaging like what was there, and he got a bunch of kills as well. There's just this huge army that's just parked in front of this headquarters, and like what's gonna deal with it? This knight's being stopped by a golem that it can't crit. This sword can't do anything. He has like tons of units up on the north side that just can't do anything. Like these don't threaten anything on the map right now. Okay, cool, you've got this thief. Like, whatever, it's not going to do anything. You've got this like sword, you got this merfolk that's just chilling here. It's been hitting the gate all game. She's using his merfolk. Like, it's not doing much, but it exists. It's going to be at this front line.
Exactly. It's just like another warm body that you can have on the battlefield. Important note about this HQ lethal setup is that the mage can't actually get the crit on the HQ. Normally mages against HQ aren't super great, but the mage crit I think does about 45 to HQ, which is pretty huge.
Whoa, that is actually huge. Yeah, like the balloon's just there. Like, Alsame has to deal with this mage. He has to do something to it. You know, that's going to be a mage crit. And then you're going to have... I mean, what you could... I don't think that sword's going to survive, but if it did, it's like a potential like low health sword crit on the HQ as well.
Although, you're right, I can't imagine him leaving the sword alive. That would be kind of silly. Fortunately, the 4 health sword cannot reach Q because it probably won't be able to reach
There's 2
HQ.
mountains in the way, yeah, like, that's not going to do anything. But it exists. And that's the important thing. And it can't be killed. Because of the damage he did to the archer and that sword, he can't actually kill that sword. Like, with those units.
He'd have to burn either the dog or the knight hit. Or I guess he could bring this full health sword down from above. I don't want to use the full health sword to hit one of these mages.
Yeah, I guess he could, like...
I don't know.
There's plays here. I think he could bring Wulfar down to finish off the weak sword and then have sword crit on the mage. But then you're, like, leaving Wulfar just surrounded by units. And that is, less than ideal.
That's a big part of the problem here, is that you need Wulfar to kill some of these guys. Wulfar has no backup, so if he kills anything, he's getting surrounded. It's looking pretty fair, I'll be honest, for Alsame. I'm trying to think of moves he can...
I mean, like, he can get... Ooh, yeah, he goes for it. Now he has Groove as well, which is very significant. Because he could, like, punt balloons into, punt golems as well. So this golem position, like, it has to be really careful with where it goes now. Because the last thing you want it to do is to have happen is to get punted into these, like, tiny lake pools in the bottom left and the top right.
That's the worst. Alsame actually spamming a ton of Wulfar, and he got a golem punt to me on Kfo, where there's exactly 1 water tile, and a good feeling.
Yeah, that's definitely feels bad moment. Actually, another thing, because this army's really clumped up, this witch hex that could and probably will come in is going to be very significant. Here we go. Oh, look at how much...
Hex.
That did a lot of damage.
The question though is, can he blow it up? I don't know. What is he gonna, like, for example, what is he gonna use to protect his left side so that Wulfar get pike crit a ton? And he, like, what is he gonna use to protect Wulfar's bottom side so that Wulfar doesn't get pike crit from over there? Wulfar is in so much danger right now, and he's got to deal with this mage that's on the mountain. Otherwise, his witch is dead too. This is an archer crit on the table against Wulfar too, so this is very dangerous for Alsame to be walking his commander. But at the same time, I don't know what other choice he had.
If you can kill the mage on the right hand side, Wulfar's only going to get hit on 2 sides. Which I think he's fairly safe if that happens. Like, he'll take damage, but he won't die. Nothing here can suicide itself on him. There's no swords left, it's all pikes. And actually, one of the advantages of swords is that they just die. So, you can throw a sword into a commander, and it dying is, like, really useful. Okay, takes out the mage. Wulfar can't really be lethal at this point, he's quite safe.
He can only get, I think, 2 pike crits in the archer crit, which is definitely not going to finish him off.
Something we could potentially see, this knight, the 7 health one, could basically suicide into the golem for a crit. Just weaken that up a bit.
At this point, I mean, the knight can't do anything to Shu's main army. Right? It's all pikes. I don't think he can even. So that's probably the best thing that he.
It's either that or it hits the mage with a non-crit.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that play out. That it can. It seems like probably a weaker play because there's another mage coming in. 2 more mages coming in. There's no, like, he doesn't have any to stop this golem, so.
We're talking about income. Alsame has 100 income lead right now. Ooh, heals the archer. I guess there's not really much for it to shoot this turn, so makes sense to make it more useful in a future turn.
I mean, with 1 HP, what's the point of shooting anything if I do any damage?
Yeah, that's true. Uses the golem to threaten Ryota, which I think is a good play. This means that, like...
I think so.
Oh, and something I just realized is very smart about taking that village. Potentially the archer could have run forward and killed the sword that's like up north of the witch right now. And then the mage could have run through and just killed the witch from the north. But by taking that village, it like eliminates that option. Nothing else can really hit that village now.
That's true. Everything else is too slow. Okay. Alsame kind of stopped the bleeding. Still in a pretty tough position. He's not in imminent danger of losing his Q. So that's something.
Yeah, I guess like the question is like what happens now? Like I think a lot of this army could potentially get killed. There's a spear crit lined up on that knight, so that knight's probably not long for this world.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's a dog. It's gonna get them.
Even the merfolk can run in and like do damage to the sword.
Yep. Folk can hit the sword.
Yep.
Just really and come in and hit the village. Oh, it just moves up there. Gonna retreat. Very smart.
And people are making a very good point. So like the one really big advantage Shu pushed there was Red Gems had to think a lot about how he took that turn. And had to take a lot of time to think how he took that turn. Shu is rocking the good 21 minutes 47 right now. As opposed to Red Jams, who I think it went down to like 15 or 16 minutes.
Alsame's time is running pretty low, and this is one of Shu's biggest strengths as a player, I think, and really mattered that much in the 0.3 era because there were no timers, but she was an extremely fast player. She was really good at during his opponent's turn. He's good at his opponent's moves, and then already having a response to them when it's his turn. So she just plays really fast and is really smart to put lots of pressure on Wulfar. Even though there's friendly villages by, Wulfar can actually heal. It's already been drained. That 9 HP village, I don't.
Oh, did I say red gems, by the way? Sorry, Alsame. I'm seeing red, and I'm just like, red gems, good player. I actually do think red gems plays a decent amount of Wulfar too.
Wulfar feels like a red gems champion.
He does. Also, something I wouldn't have gone for the archer there. I would have actually hit the village because it's on 1% health exactly, and just gone for the decap.
Well, I see why he didn't go for the cap on the village, because then if somebody recapped it, then health that Wulfar could heal.
Okay, right. You're just too smart for me.
The important thing about hitting Wulfar in this situation is that Wulfar can't heal this turn. So Wulfar's in a lot of danger right now. Like, Wulfar might just die.
Oh.
Yeah,
like he's actually like properly dead.
Okay, yeah. So he's basically committing to being dead at this point. Unless he kills his goal.
Alright, good suicides. Ooh, nice snipe on the mage with the dog. So yeah, Asame's getting good damage where he can. Damages that mage quite a lot. So this witch isn't under threat anymore. So he's only under threat from one side.
I don't actually think that's super important. The only thing that matters right now is how much health this Shoes Golem has. Alsame doesn't get Shoes Golem onto 6 health, then Shu will win by hitting Alsame with the golem.
Yeah. Oh, although there is a mage heal. And that mage heal...
That's why.
Yeah.
Needs to get the golem enough so that after the mage heal on the golem still doesn't do it. One-shot Alsame. And there's this archer, which is... It's only at 4 HP, but it is still alive. And the archer, if Shu needs to heal the golem, it will archer as well. He can heal both. So, I don't know. I'm probably dead for this. But maybe not.
I like the use of the knight there, actually. Gets like the kill on that, so that spear can't really threaten. The mage needs to come in and heal. The balloon needs to drop something. Actually, the balloon can block and put a unit on the mountain and north of it. There isn't a huge amount of anti-air here. We're probably gonna see... Oh, sorry, I was gonna say we're probably gonna see that mage heal the other mage and that mage go for a crit on the witch.
Here's the thing. Shu can kill Og, the sword directly above. It's a night crit on Wolf.
I mean, like, there's a lot to punch through there, though, because that balloon just came in.
Yeah, that's true. He's actually defending this pretty well.
Oh, and puts you in the minus. That's never a place you want to be. Alsame, this thief really coming into effect now.
Oof. Long con. Long gameplay. Actually, now that I'm looking at this situation, the golem Shu is still at full health.
Oh, I'm getting a little bit of background noise on you, by the way.
Oh, sorry, yeah. There's she was pretty behind on count right now. She was down 8 units and 300 gold. So, in the macro sense, Shu's game is, if he can't wrap it up soon, find himself at a pretty big disadvantage. And I don't know how he's going to bust through this wall because he pushed really hard and really aggressively. One thing, in fact, that Shu always likes to talk about is getting closer to your reinforcements. And Shu played very far from his reinforcements, which is a very easy thing to do on this map. And when you play far from your reinforcements, your opponent can reinforce really fast and you can't. So then if you don't wipe them out, just regenerate.
Okay, we're seeing golem hit on golem hit. So that won't kill the golem. I think Alsame's actually defended this.
I think so, which actually kind of puts Shu in a bad position now. I don't really can finish off the goal. Oh, he can't do it because he can't get that witch out of the way. Ryota very far up, actually. That's kind of a sketchy move. I don't know if I agree with far up and on the road. Keep in mind, this golem's crit condition is up. The golem. How much health is this golem at?
23. So it's at that awkward bit where it's just above 20. So like one heal is
That's a bummer. If it was at like 19 or something, then it would just be straight dead. But
Yeah.
there's still there's a lot of damage potential to come out here. What is that? Got the heal Wulfar all the way up to full.
Oh yeah, like the economy thing right now is that like you got 2 mages, you can heal Wulfar to full, heal this knight to full, heal your basically your whole army to full. And that mage crit just didn't do enough on the witch.
Oh, not at all. There's a witch hex coming out too. So there's potentially a lot of damage on the board for Alsame, especially damage directly onto Ryota. Yeah, he can't kill the balloon, but he may not even need to. He may be able to get enough damage just from 2 sides.
Oh, here come the heals.
Here come the heals.
I guess like maybe heal that dog up to like 7? So it can go in and suicide first?
That's a smart play. Dog suicide. If you can execute a dog suicide, it does a lot of damage. Because dogs actually have a really good matchup against commanders.
And like on the inverse, also like a kind of bad matchup where like a dog can run up, hit, and die, even when it's at full health.
At full health, unfortunately, they don't die.
Oh, actually, on a road because it would do too much damage.
I think the commander is on plains. I'm not sure how it works. If the commander's on road, the dog will do too much damage and end up surviving with like 18% or something.
Right.
Which is a shame because dogs just like it would be a shame if they actually took more damage from commanders. Do so much damage to commanders.
Yeah. I guess they're just like a little too effective at doing something like that, but but could suicide the golem. I think that's
die?
I'm fairly sure golem will die. 45, yeah. So dog, golem after dog?
Golem after dog. There's a witch hex.
Yeah, this might be game.
And he's got enough for another heal on water. Probably just calcing it out right now.
Oh, but he doesn't have anything that can hit on the right.
Need anything? Oh no, he will need something that can hit on. For the hex anyway, that's smart. I mean, hex.
Oh, that's like a bajillion damage right there, so.
Finishing off the merfolk. Finish off that mage that's on the forest, that's really good. I don't think he can finish off Ryota. which is not super great.
Also, I just noticed Alsame has 5 minutes left on the clock.
That's why it's not super great, because he's only got a few minutes left. If he doesn't finish Ryota, that balloon is still there. Shu can just take Ryota to the other side of the map. Alsame still has 0 pressure on Shu's HQ. Take him quite a while to get pressure on Shu's HQ. There's no... So... Alsame doesn't choose commander soon. Shu's just going to run away in that balloon. Get the timer out.
The thief is dead, by the way. No matter what it does, no matter where it goes, it's gonna die. That knight's just gonna chase it down.
The knight and the mage both can chase it down. Although, is there a square where only the mage can hit it? Oh,
No.
might. Oh no, there's not a.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's even in crit range. Yeah, so it's done though. Thieves are like weirdly tanky. They take a ton of damage from most units, but they don't actually get hit killed by most things. So can actually like kind of tank in a really weird way. But against the knight, there's no hope, especially with crit.
Oh, Alsame, like, needs to play faster. Like, really badly. Like, you got 3.5 minutes. We were talking about 5 minutes not that long ago. Now he's on 3.
This is not good. Alsame, not good one bit. And the scary thing is there are guys clumped up all over the place. Shu generates a huge dash. Oh. He can hit from the right side with the golem, bottom with the knight. He can probably suicide this pike.
Archer can get in range. Knight's crit. Yeah. Oh, Knight crit's on the right side.
Knight crits on the right side, and he's got heals for the archer too. He's got 2 heals for the archer. So, and Shu's got 18 minutes left to, so he can think about. I think Shu's gonna have lethal here. Dash, big brain dash.
Get your clip buttons ready, chat, because we're gonna see a dash. Potentially, this could end the game.
To be fair, I've been saying I think someone has lethal like every turn for the last 5 turns. So if my prediction doesn't come true, I'm not going to be super surprised. But I do really think that it's on the board this time, and I don't think that there's anything.
Oh, I mean, you look at where that dog lined up to with that spear. Oh. Oh, just runs. That's not a bad play.
That's a pretty good play too, and actually, not in crit range of that. If he was in crit range of that night, that would be hilarious.
Now all he needs to think about is, like, he could suicide the spear. Spear goes on road, probably gonna die on counter attack. Maybe? Actually, should have used the spear first. Oh,
I don't think he was really thinking about. I wonder if he sees it now.
goes for the archer. Probably could have healed
The
the
archer
archer.
afterwards.
That's weird. This might be it, though. You can heal the golem again if he needs to. 38. Golem, average roll. And you lose a lot of that 10% bonus when you're at that percent health.
Really close. It's really close. Is he gonna get it? Oh my god.
He gets it.
Hey!
Even coin flip. I would have healed first because it was on 96% health, but
That's it anyway. Wow, what a wild game.
that was.
That was intense.
Whew. Congratulations, Shu. You win game 4. You know the funny thing is, like, when I was looking for people for matchups for these show matches. I asked Shu. Shu just says yes, straight away. Shu was down to play, and gave us a show, that's for sure. That was such a fun game, and such a great game to end on as well.